Photography can be an expensive hobby, but luckily with the Canon RP sitting at right below $1,000, and sometimes we've seen it go as low as $899 depending on sales, this full-frame mirrorless camera still holds up against other cameras in its price range as being one of the top budget cameras to this day. Yo YouTube, what's going on today guys? It's your boy Luciano bringing you guys back another one. Today we are going to be talking about the Canon RP. We're going to be going over an overview, who I think this camera is perfect for, and why I believe this is still the perfect budget camera in its price range. I've owned this Canon RP for about 3 years now, and actually it was my very first camera starting off. This camera pretty much took me from an amateur to being a professional photographer, which I do today. This was my main camera that I use for everyday things such as vlogging, taking product photography, doing portraits, just about anything and everything. With how well this camera can deal with photography and video both at the same time, I really think that this camera should honestly be priced a little bit higher than what it is, because let me tell you, this thing is a complete beast. Before we jump into this video, I'm actually going to switch my cameras. I'm currently using the Canon R5, and now we will be using the Canon RP. Now that we got the Canon RP mounted on the tripod, I am going to be shooting the rest of this video on the RP. I have the same lens on there and the same camera settings that I shot the first part of the intro. The intro was shot all with the R5, but now we're going to be rolling with the RP for the rest of the video. Now let me tell you why I really like the Canon RP. When people ask me, hey, what do you like about the Canon RP? One of the things that always comes to top of mind is its weight and its size. I kid you not, the Canon RP is actually smaller than my iPhone 14 Pro, which is crazy. Obviously the Canon RP is thicker than the iPhone 14, but as far as like the size, the iPhone 14 is bigger. One of the cool things about this is that it makes it very easy to pack around. Whether you just want to throw this in your purse, you want to throw it in a backpack, it's gonna fit right about anywhere really. If you think about it, you know, you throw your phone in your pocket, you can probably throw this Canon RP in your pocket depending on how big your pockets are, but I really think that this makes it perfect even for those that are wanting a backup camera. Let's say you don't want to buy a second Canon R5 because it takes up too much room. The Canon RP is definitely just an easy one to slide in your camera bag and have a backup in case your main camera fails. Another thing that I really like about the EOS RP is the flip out camera. I know this was a huge deal for me when I was first looking into a budget camera because I wanted something that I can use it to vlog. I wanted something I can use for portraits, product photography, whatever it was and that I was gonna throw at this camera, I wanted it to do because I wanted a very good hybrid camera. Whether you wanna take low shots, high shots, or you're just in a very uncomfortable situation and you need to flip that screen around so you can see it better, it's definitely super helpful. And honestly, for my vloggers out there, this is perfect. Like right now that I have the RP mounted on the tripod, I literally have the screen facing towards me, versus if I would have spent $1,000 on something else that didn't have a flip out screen, I wouldn't be able to see myself right now, and I wouldn't be able to see if my camera is even recording or not. Another lovely thing about the Canon RP that I really love is its autofocus. This is extremely important, especially for my new guys or gals that are jumping into photography and don't want to toy around with manual focus. Autofocus comes in clutch in every situation, especially when you have a camera that can do it very well, like the Canon RP. Like for example, right now, look at this. The Canon RP just locks on straight onto my face. Even back here, focuses in at no problem whatsoever. Even on this side, and this is with eye tracking on. Another cool thing about the Canon RP that it has face tracking, it's got eye tracking, so it's very good, I'm telling you. Especially at its price range, there's not very many cameras that've got eye tracking at the $1,000 price range and that do it as well as the Canon RP. And obviously this is very good for the vloggers. If you're barely jumping into photography, let's say portrait photography, this is gonna come in very handy, especially when you're not gonna have to toy around with manual focus to see where your subject's at. You can literally just turn on face focus or eye tracking and have your subject perfectly in focus because it allows you to do that. You may be sitting here thinking, well, you know, yeah, autofocus is really cool. Flip out screens are badass. What about quality, right? Tell me about the Canon RP quality. So here are a few pictures that I shot a few days ago. These are my buddy Victor. Shout out Victor for letting me use him as a model. As bad as I want to show you guys a comparison between the R5 and the RP, that's not what this video is about, but take a look at how crispy these pictures are. Those are some extremely good pictures. I was even surprised sitting in Lightroom while I was editing. I was impressed because I have not used this camera for photography in over a year. I've been strictly using the R5 and the RP is now my backup. Now take a look at the quality of the video. This was all shot in 1080p. Even the video quality is extremely good. Obviously, you know, you can see it right here. Just me shooting this video, it looks very crispy and it looks very good. Given that the quality of the photos and video taken by the Canon RP still make it a really great camera, another thing that makes it even better is the RF lens mount, which is this one right here. The RF mount system is actually one of the newest lens mounts out there by Canon, and what makes this really great is that any lens that comes out to this day can be used on the Canon RP. The RP was released in 2019, and the cool thing that we can use lenses that are coming out in 2022 is amazing. Just with that, that really future-proofs the Canon RP, given we're probably gonna be on this mount system for probably another 10-15 years before a new mount system comes out. The thing that probably makes this camera so great is this 24-105 lens. This actually came with my Canon RP when I bought it. The camera body itself is like $899, and I think if you want to include this lens, it's like a little bit over $1,000, which isn't too crazy. You're getting a camera body and a lens for just a little bit over $1,000. This was my main rider for probably 3 years or so. This was the only lens that I rocked. I shot a lot of night photography on this, product pictures, videos, you name it. This thing went through all of it and still held up after so many years. This camera lens makes the Canon RP stand out, and it makes it very versatile in any situation. So who is the Canon RP perfect for? For me, it served me perfectly as my first entry-level camera. It really allowed me to get a taste of photography, get my feet wet, and just really learn the camera system in general. I feel like me telling somebody what the perfect camera is really depends on what their necessities are. For example, if you want to get into photography for wildlife photography or sports photography, I would strongly tell you not to get the Canon RP just because it doesn't shoot fast enough for that type of photography. But let's say your necessities are to be a vlogger, then I would 100% tell you to get a Canon RP as your first camera. Or you just want to get into portraits, perfect camera to pick up for portraits, right? So then again, like I said, it just really depends on your necessities. Another type of person that I feel like the RP is perfect for is if you need a backup camera. For example, myself, I use the RP as my backup to my R5. God forbid, you know, the R5 goes out on me. I know that I can fall back on the RP and it's gonna give me really good quality pictures and really good quality video, and I wouldn't be complaining or sad about the quality. Or also, let's say that you want to take a step up in photography. Let's say you've been rocking a DSLR for a while and you want to get your feet wet into interchangeable lenses. You want to get all the extra features like autofocus, flip out screens, and you just want a really good camera that can produce high quality images and video. Then I say pull the trigger on the RP and pick one up, because this would be the perfect camera to use as a stepping stone to upgrade into something more powerful like the Canon R5, which is very overkill for a lot of people. Now, even though the RP does have some limitations, especially for the price range that it's at, it's not a bad deal at all. Obviously, you don't get all the crazy features that an expensive camera would have. For your average photographer that's maybe trying to upgrade from their DSLR into something nicer like the RP, or maybe you've been filming YouTube videos on your iPhone, you have some experience, and you just want to level up into something more professional that can do a lot more than your average iPhone, I feel like the Canon RP is perfect for this. This camera really serves well, and it's still going to hold up to this day. It's going to get you some very good video. It's going to get you some very good photos. This is why the Canon RP still serves as one of the best budget cameras to this day. Now guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did find this valuable, please do me a solid, leave a like, comment down below any questions you have of the RP. Maybe I didn't mention something in here, just comment your question. I'll make sure to get back to you. And also subscribe if you guys are new. We're dropping 2 videos every single week. Turn on the notification bell. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.